All right, everyone. Hey, Jordan Schultz here. Bear with me just a moment. Let me just check this page and tell everybody that we're live. Angela will be here in just a moment. And then we will go ahead and get started. I'm excited. I'm seeing some comments there. Who's excited? I'm excited. This is like, I feel like a kid on Christmas Eve right now, because tomorrow, the thing that I love about Christmas, and folks, I know a lot of you are here tonight, you're guests, you may not know who I am, you may not know who Angela is, who's actually not even sitting here right now. We'll get into that in just a moment and why you're here. You're here because you want to learn about an amazing opportunity to sell some phenomenal products and be able to earn high-end commissions in offering people a phenomenal product. That's what we're going to talk about here tonight, and it's coming tomorrow. The thing I love about Christmas, though, let me touch on that for just a moment. I don't know about you, but to me, there's nothing more exciting than giving someone something and watching their excitement as they get to open it up, as they get to look at their present, as they get to, you get to share in their joy, right? And you get to cause their joy because you're giving them a gift, It's one of the things I love is being able to give people stuff that's absolutely amazing and watching how excited they get. Now, while I'm going to be excited, I know Angela's going to be excited here tomorrow. One of the main reasons we're so excited is because all of you out there, we've done this for you. Helped us to design this, to put this together, all that different stuff. And we're just so dang pumped right now for what is going to happen. And literally, we're talking about 20 hours from now, just less than 20 hours from now, we are going live. We are literally launching this brand new top tier company to the world, and the really cool thing is it's going to be, an internal pre-launch. So only people that are involved in Freedom Fighters Network will get to learn about the products. We'll get to the opportunity to purchase the products. And we'll also have the opportunity to resell those products and earn commissions in doing so. And so we've got some really cool stuff going on. But folks, here's what we're going to talk about tonight. We know some of you are brand new here. We know a lot of you, you're like, we've heard this stuff before. We've heard these stories before. We've heard everything here before. We're going to tell you a little bit about what our goals are, why we've created the Freedom Fighters Network, where you fit into that. And then, and then share with you where we're headed and how it can benefit you. That's why you're here tonight, because it's Saturday night. It's 5 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock Eastern. I don't know where you are in the United States or where you are in the world for that matter, but it is Saturday night and you chose to spend it here with us, which to me, that tells me that, oh wow. All right, everyone. Hey, Jordan Schultz. That was a long delay, but it should be probably playing. There we go. Okay, so it's caught up now. Wow, that totally threw me for a loop with that there. You're here on a Saturday night, right? Tells me one very important thing. I remember years ago, and even recently, don't mind. It's just a little bit hot up here on the third floor, so I'm taking my socks off just to get some airflow going on in my feet there. But I remember oftentimes, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
My feet probably smell worse with the socks on. Come on. So I remember years ago, even recently, all the time I've heard things like sell stuff on a weekday. It's better to launch a product on a weekday. It's better to do things at this time. It's better to, whatever the case may be. I've heard all these different pitches from people. And here's what I know. When I was first getting started online, when I was breaking through, when I was still struggling for that matter to make any kind of money whatsoever, or making the little bit of money that I was, when I was struggling, I was so eager to soak up information and get in front of information like what you're going to learn here tonight. Because folks, we're not just going to pitch you here. We're going to teach you some concepts about how to think differently, how to think like an entrepreneur, how to start thinking like a business owner, like an internet business owner. Because folks, it's not just about it's not just about having the right sales funnel. It's not just about having awesome products. It's not just about having something that people will want to buy, regardless of whether or not they can turn around and sell it because the product is so amazing. It's not just about that, right? It's about thinking differently, because I'll tell you what, I had that stuff back in the beginning, and yet other people were succeeding a whole lot more than I was. I still was seeing some results, but other people were succeeding a whole lot more than I was. And it's the stuff that you learn here by paying attention to me and Angela tonight. So the truth of the matter is this: you're here tonight, it tells me that you're different. You're here tonight, it tells me that you're committed. You're here tonight, it tells me that you want something different in your life. You want change in your life. You want to be able to make more money from home. I don't know if that's, I don't know what your current situation is. I don't know if you're someone who's, struggling to pay the bills week to week. I don't know if you're someone who has extra money and wants more free time. I don't know if you're someone looking to make a few $100s a month extra. And I don't know if you're someone who's looking to make a few thousand to 10,000 plus, multiple 5 figures a month extra, or not extra, I mean, money in your life. Whatever the case may be, we can help you get there by teaching you how to make money online, how to sell products online, and by offering these phenomenal product lines that we're going to be releasing tomorrow. But again, I want to congratulate you for deciding to be here tonight, because there's something going on tonight. One of mine and Angela's, actually one of our favorite bands, teamed up with another band that's just absolutely amazing, and you never really know who it is, because there's this is a really cool concept, folks. It's called Everyone Orchestra, and this guy is like the director of the orchestra, and then it's different musicians that are like in town that night that are all from phenomenal bands that come together, and it's a different band every single time that you see them, right? So you never really know who's going to be in it, and it's awesome. And then there's a really cool bluegrass band playing after them. And guess what? We're here tonight, right? Why? Because we want something different in our lives. This entire summer, with the exception pretty much of our Bali vacation, has been spent working, right? This entire summer, right? And if you would have asked me a year ago or 6 months ago, what are you going to be doing this summer? I would have said, hey, I'm going on tour with Fish, I'm camping, and I'm just going to be camping all summer. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing.
Our plan, like literally going back a year ago, we were like, next summer we're going to go and with Fish.
Exactly. So if you folks, you would have heard an entirely different answer. The truth of the matter is this: sometimes in life you have the opportunity to take action on certain things, to put in some work, to put in some effort on certain things that can forever set you up differently and can forever change the course of your life and make it, if you decide to do things properly, if you decide to do things right, that can make your entire rest of your life different. I had a friend years ago that said to me, he said, Jordan, would you be willing to work hard for 3 years, like most people won't, so that you can have a life that most people will never have? Would you be willing to do that? Would you be willing to sacrifice certain things, time, energy, sometimes sleepless nights, maybe different things of that nature? Would you be willing to do that if it meant that you could set yourself up so much so that if things happen, you never had to work again a day in your life, right? And I'm not saying that's what you want in your life, right? I'm not saying that's what you want. That's what I want. That's what we want, right? We want to do that. We want to work really hard for the next couple of years and be able to literally have things in place to set ourselves up for life, right? And we want to be able to help other people do the same thing, right? That's been a huge goal of ours. That's been a huge goal of ours for years. One of the big issues was no matter how hard we worked, we were setting ourselves up, but we weren't actually able to help other people break through and get these kind of results. And that's some of the stuff we're going to talk about here tonight, folks. Is a lot of times you see people in this industry that struggle unrightfully, that struggle through things because they're misled with the wrong information. They're misled with the wrong resources, the wrong tools, right? They're sold the wrong things, right? They're told different things that don't really add up, right? And so we're gonna dispel some of those things here tonight and share with you some of the pitfalls that we faced over the past years, as well as the really exciting thing that's happening tomorrow that can completely change a lot of people's lives, very simply. So with that, I want to pass it over to Angela, and she can take it from here, because I've been talking, I've been hogging the screen here for about 10 minutes now.
Whole 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
That's really the I know, I saw that.
Are you talking about, do you smell what the Rock is cooking, Tammy? Is that what you're talking about, or is it some other one? I don't know. I love it.
Nice. That's really the reason.
Oh, she's talking about my feet.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, I'm way off base. right over my head.
What Jordan was just talking about, that's really the reason why we created the Freedom Fighters Network, because really up until really up until this time, we've had a way where we could earn money on the internet for the simple reason that we actually got past the learning curve. We were in the industry for a long time. It took me about 4.5 years to get past the learning curve. Jordan was a little bit on the smarter side. It took him like 22 months, took me 4.5 years. During that time, I went $45,000 into debt. And then kind of everything clicked for me and I figured everything out. But after that happened, you know, because during the time that I was struggling, right, guys, like during the time that I was confused and during the time that I was losing money, it seemed to me like everyone else just like was able to make money. Like it seemed to me that it was just easy for all the other leaders. It seemed to me that nobody else really struggled the way that I was struggling, you know? So I just figured during that time that I was getting past the learning curve, I just figured that I was just slow. But what I found was that once I broke through, once I started earning a 5-figure monthly income, because I started sponsoring a lot of people into not only a program where they could earn little commissions, but a program where they could earn big commissions as well, right? What I found was that those people also all struggled. And what Jordan found was that those people all struggled. You know, he and I combined before we started the Freedom Fighters Network had brought in literally over 1,000 personally sponsored people, which, you know, I see that on each and every hangout here that not hangouts, I've talked about that, may not seem like a lot of personally sponsored people. And the reason why it may not seem like that to you guys is because the Freedom Fighters Network is a whole lot easier to sponsor people in. In the last program that I was in, I brought in like 270 something personally sponsored people in my first, you know, 180 hours. Jordan and I brought in like, you know, actually, sorry, first 60 hours rather, Jordan and I brought in 188 personally sponsored people in the Freedom Fighters Network, so it's a whole lot easier here, right? But going back to my original point, you know, out of 1,000 people, right, more than 1,000 people actually, there was like less than a handful of people that were actually succeeding, less than a handful of people that were earning enough money to be able to live the lifestyle income and the lifestyle that you see all over the internet, that you assume that by the sales videos so many different people live. Well, the truth of the matter is, after being in this industry for almost 6 years now, what we've come to find out is very, very few people actually achieve that. And it brought me last year to literally almost quitting the industry because of the fact that I was so frustrated with the way that nobody was really able to make the kind of money that's promised. You know, you watch a sales video and you decide to get started, and what happens? You're handed the owner's manual, right? And the owner's manual says, watch these, you know, 15 3-hour-long training videos, and then maybe, just maybe, you might learn enough to make your first dollar online. Well, the average person, A, doesn't have the time to do that, and B, doesn't have really, most people don't have the stick-to-itiveness to just stick with something over a long period of time to actually see a result. You know, the average amount of time that somebody will stick in this industry, the make money from home, make money online, MLM, affiliate marketing industry, without making money is 43 days, right? So when Jordan and I came together just about 3 months ago now and created what we're gonna talk about here tonight, and then beyond that, what we decided was that we needed to create something wherein it was kind of more of a paradigm shift. It was something that was different, something that had never been done before. What we wanted to do was basically help people make money in their first 30 days, because we knew over time, right, if people came into this industry, that the average amount of time that they would stick without making money was 43 days. Well, we needed to make sure that they made money before that 43-day mark. Otherwise, they weren't going to stick around long enough in order to make money. Most people won't stick around 4.5 years and go $45,000 into debt like me. Most people won't go $18,000 into debt like Jordan and stick around for 22 months before finally figuring it out. Most people will literally get involved in something, and if they don't make money right away, they want out. So when we got together and created the Freedom Fighters Network, we knew we had to have something that would help people make money right away. So how do we do that, right? Because, you know, I've been trying to help a lot of people make money online for the longest time. I've been in this industry for more than 6 years. I've brought in a lot of people. Even before I was successful, I was bringing people into stuff very consistently. But over time, very few people stuck and very few people made money. Why? It's the learning curve. It really boils down to the learning curve. So if we create something wherein we created the sales funnel, but not only created the sales funnel, we also did the marketing for people, that would eliminate the learning curve, right? Because what is the learning curve? The learning curve is learning how to market. The learning curve is understanding headlines, understanding advanced marketing skills, knowing how to go and create a compelling ad on Facebook and get people to click through and want to make a decision to buy, right? That's advanced marketing skills. That's where the learning curve comes in. So if we could create something wherein people still learn that stuff, because it's still good stuff to learn. I'm not sitting here saying you guys shouldn't learn marketing. You should. I've made a lot of money in marketing, and the people that I know that have actually gone on to learn advanced skills have made a lot more money than the people that just go and send, you know, traffic blindly, right? That's a fact. But if somebody can go in knowing where the traffic is coming from, how it actually gets there, but the traffic is targeted enough to where when people that land on that landing page are already people that want to make money from home, and you didn't have to go find them. You didn't have to call up your aunt, your uncle, or your brother, or your sister and say, hey, check out this opportunity. Instead, you could click a button that already sent people that were already interested to your pages that you didn't even know, right? And because of the fact that they are actually interested in this already, they wanted to get started and actually buy something. Well, that would eliminate the learning curve, right? So we came up with this idea. It was really just a vision, really. I mean, going back 4 months ago, this was like an idea. Actually, 4 months ago, it wasn't even an idea yet. We came up with the idea when we were in Bali. I remember sitting down and, you know, we drew it up on a piece of paper and we drew up this funnel and we're like, let's do this. Like, we can come up with this, right? But it was really just a vision. It had to go through testing first. So I'll tell you guys how we launched. But I'm really going to keep this part really kind of short because we do go over it in a lot of different hangouts. And what we really want to do tonight is more than anything, talk about how you guys are going to earn these higher level commissions, because that's the reason that we started the Freedom Fighters Network. We knew that we needed a way for people to get in the front door and actually make money from the front end. But really where the money is actually made is the back end. Really where the money is made is you being able to earn between $400 and $3,298 for every sale that's made, and then by virtue of that, be able to reinvest back into your marketing right away versus waiting around for, you know, weeks, months, or years before you earn your money back. You're able to take that and say, okay, well, I spent XYZ amount of money to get a customer, and this customer decided to buy in at the top level, at the top tier, and because of that, I earned like a $5,000 commission right after pre-launch. That's what you'll learn.
I gotta throw something in here once, folks.
Yeah.
Because I think I think some of you might have seen something like this before. When I first got involved online years ago, I remember building a funnel or a sales process wherein one of the products that I sold was a hosting package. And if you don't know what hosting is, you're on a website right now. The website is hosted somewhere in order to actually show up online, right? Hosting allows you to put your websites into a storage facility somewhere, like on a computer, on a hard drive, literally hard drives all over the world, so that it can be called up by any internet, by any computer all over the world, in a nutshell, right? That's what hosting is. And I used to sell a hosting package, right? And this hosting package that I sold cost $4.95 to get set up, and $4.95 a month. Now, this was a very basic one. It was literally like, you know, it didn't have much. It didn't have security built in. It didn't have, I ended up spending a whole lot more in the long run on different things. But here was the thing that happened. When I sold one of those things for $4.95, right, I would get paid one time, I would get paid $50. If I sold more than X amount in a month, I would get paid $75 per $5 sale, right? And I always wondered, how is it that they can pay me $50 up front for a $5 sale, right? How is it that they can do that, right? Well, it's because the front end value of a customer, they look at the lifetime value of a customer. They look at the back end value. They looked at, hey, they bought in for $4.95, but then, oh, they needed the hosting that was $12 a month. Oh, and then they actually needed security, which was another $10 or $20 or $30 a month, depending on the security level. And then they needed, technical help and different, whatever the case may be. There's different things that you need to have if you wanted emails and all this different stuff, right? There's all these different things that go on to that. And so they look at it and say, our average customer value is way more than $50, over the lifetime of that customer. And so if we're paying $50 for someone else to spend their time attaining us a customer, we know that we can pay this kind of money. So take that same concept and look at yourself as getting the customer for yourself, right? Look at yourself as getting the customer for yourself, right? A lot of people will look at it and say, hey, yeah, I can get a front-end customer into something, right? But then I'm only earning $25 a month for referring that customer into this thing. Well, that's going to take me forever to get that money back, right? That's going to take me forever to turn a profit, right? Well, again, that's not the goal, folks. The goal is the fact that there are other products that those people will want to buy because they like them, right? And not everyone will, obviously. You know, I'm not going to feed you a line of BS here and say everyone's going to love our product. And I'm also not going to feed you a line of BS. You know, I like the one of going to like friends and family and saying, oh, well, your friends and family, everyone wants to make more money, so this opportunity is for everyone. Well, yeah, I mean, everyone does want to make more money, but how do people want to do it? You know, I've got family members that looked at me and said, Jordan, congratulations, you're doing better than I am, but I don't want to do what you do. I have no interest in learning sales. I have no interest in working on a computer. I have no interest in doing any of that stuff. And I'm like, hey, that's awesome. You love what you do. That's totally cool, right? So it's not for everyone, right? And that's why going to the wrong people and learning how to market to the wrong people is the stupidest thing in the world, in my opinion. You know, telling people, go invite people down to a meeting and say, hey, you look like a sharp person. Would you like to make money? Come down here and let me teach you how. Well, that person may or may not want to make money. What if, though, there was someone saying, hey, I'm actually open to wanting to make money. I just don't know how, right? I'm open to ideas. Like I was years ago. I went to Google and I typed in, and I don't even think it was Google at the time. I think it was AOL search or something like that, or Ask Jeeves.
Dogpile,
Ask Jeeves. I don't even know. And I typed in how to become a millionaire, right? I was someone who was hungrily seeking how to make money, riches, millions of dollars from home, right? I'm a much better prospect for a person selling something that teaches people how to make money from home than my family member who says, I want nothing to do with that, right? And yet some people will say, hey, if you just ask them enough times, at some point in their life, things must change. Well, here's what I've found, is when you go out there and become successful, and you go out there and you sell your stuff to the right people, which we can teach you how to do, which we can give you access to the right resources to get the right people in front of your offer, right? In front of our offer, in front of the offer here, you will have a much better chance of bringing those people in. Now, here's what happens. Here's what happens, folks. And it might not happen for everyone. It took me a few years for this to happen to me, but this was really powerful, right? I actually had family members coming to me and saying, hey, what is it that you do? How can I get in on that thing? I've had friends coming to me and saying, hey, I've had people calling me and I answer the phone and they're like, hey, how do I get into this thing? And can you tell me all about it? I'm like, shit, how did I get sucked into talking to someone about this company? Like, and then I'm like, go to the website, you know, because I don't want to talk to people about it, right? Like, I don't want to explain it to someone. Like, that doesn't do it for me, right? And so I know I'm running around in circles here. I'm going to pass it back to Angela.
Well, no, I actually just really wanted to piggyback on something you just said, because there's a reason, right, why Jordan would have gotten phone calls, and I've gotten phone calls too. There's a lot of people that I've known over the years that didn't want to get started with me when I first started trying to earn money, you know, from home. And then after they saw that I was successful, they did want to earn money. It doesn't just have to do with the fact that we became successful. It also has to do with the process involved, right? See, the reason why people will join something is because of the process. The reason why people won't join something is also because of the process, right? If you're called up by your aunt, your uncle, your brother, your sister, and they're like hard selling you on this, or in fact, they're saying, hey, just get over to this hotel meeting and have my sponsor hard sell you on this, right? and you're sitting there to yourself and you're like, you know, I really want to earn money from home because everyone does, right? I mean, what Jordan just said, every single person, there's not a person on the planet that would rather go to a job, right, and work for somebody else than would rather like sit home and have money coming to them easily and freely, right? Everybody would rather have that. The reason why people don't join home business, though, is because when they get called up by their friend or family member or whoever, and then they're dragged into a hotel meeting, they realize that in order for them to be successful in the opportunity that they were just presented, that they're going to then have to go do the exact same thing. They're going to have to call their friends and family. They're going to have to drag people into hotel meetings. They realized that as they were sitting in the hotel meeting, they were bored as crap and didn't want to be there. And they're like, I don't want to do this to my friends and family. Like, yeah, I want to make money from home, but I don't want to like lose my friends over it, right? So the reason why people don't join home business is because of process. But if you had a process in place, right, where you didn't have to call your friends and family, you didn't have to do something that was uncomfortable. You didn't have to even, spam Facebook. Like I see other opportunities out there where they teach you, go and contact like a certain amount of friends each day and copy and paste this exact message. And it's like a spam bot message. I get like 50 of them per day. Depending on the opportunity. They all have different spam bot messages that they send out, right? That doesn't look like an attractive process to people. Therefore, they don't decide to get started. But if people have a process in place that is attractive, right? So say, I like Jordan was looking on Google, right? Or Dogpile or whatever the heck it was, years ago when Google wasn't Google. And he's on there and he's like, hey, how do I make money from home? How do I become a millionaire? I think is the exact thing that you typed in back then.
Yep, absolutely.
He's a much better prospect than calling up your aunt or your uncle or whatever, right? So there's targeted traffic. Traffic is website visitors. There's people that are literally out there that are raising their hand saying, hey, please give me an opportunity. And typically speaking, they're not your aunt, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your family, your friends. That's not your right target market, because those people, whilst they would like to make money from home, I'm sure they would, they're also, the process is key. So if somebody goes and types something in online, or somebody subscribes to an email list and says, hey, I want to receive emails that teach me how to make money from home, and then all of a sudden that person, right, because we're connected to various different traffic sources, that person then, that person actually opts into a list and we send them information on how to make money from home, what's the chances that they're actually going to get started? Well, they already raised their hand. They already said, hey, I want this information. The process looks so much more attractive. They see a simple way to actually make money from home here because we offer a free trial, right? It's kind of a no-brainer. You can get started for free, which, by the way, if you're not in the Freedom Fighters Network, you can do that anytime by going ahead and clicking on the big green button down below this video. It says get started now, I believe. And when you do that, you'll be able to access our system. You'll also be able to access tomorrow's Hangout, wherein we're going to be laying out our top tier. We're going to be laying out a lot of information on that tonight as well. Because like we said, it's not about the little commissions. It's not about the $25 commissions. It's another myth that I want to talk about here in just a moment. It's not about making, $1 million or $10,000 or $1,000 $25 commissions over a long period of time. The real money is made through higher level commissions. The real money is made in this industry. People that are making $20, $30, $50, $100,000 a month are making it through higher level commissions, which is what we're going to teach.
Long-term residual income?
Yeah, it's a myth. I mean, it's literally, in my opinion anyways, and in my opinion stems from having, loads of different friends in this industry that I've made over the course of the past several years, and also my own income. You guys saw our $63,000 month inside of, inside of the sales video. We showed you our bank statement, showed $63,000 that we earned in a month. I can tell you, like, less than $2,000 of that was residual. Less than $2,000 out of $63,000 that month was residual. The reason is people don't stick with things anymore when it comes to the internet. Like going back, several years ago, you can get started in Amway or get started in one of these, different businesses, Quicksaw or whatever, right?
I remember the first opportunity I got involved in when I was 18. I was completely clear other opportunities even existed, right? Because I wasn't on the internet. Right. There was no internet. I was like, oh, this is amazing. They should make more companies like this. I had no clue that other companies like that even existed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, and that's why those companies were successful so many years ago, is because the internet, people that got started in Amway and companies like that back in the 70s and 80s, and all the different makeup companies, Avon and Mary Kay, there's people that make a lot of money in those companies. Why? Because they got started a long time ago, built a huge team before the internet existed. Now with the internet, you can literally go online and be introduced to, you get shiny ball syndrome. You're introduced to like 50 different opportunities just by logging into your Facebook account. They all exist along the sidelines, in the Facebook ads. People trying to get you involved in their thing. So retention doesn't exist anymore. Like I said in the beginning, people stick around an opportunity for 43 days before deciding to get started in another one. They see this is like double faceted, right? People will get started and they'll quit after 43 days. They don't quit forever trying to make money on the internet. Right. 43 days is the lifeline of them being in one particular company.
Well, to prove this point, how many of you out there had ever been in another opportunity before? I know I've been in a couple. Angela's been in
a couple
handfuls.
yeah.
You know, how many of you
have
out
enough
there?
hands for the amount of opportunities that I've been in.
Nice. How many of you have been in different opportunities before looking at the one you're looking at right now? Right, a lot of you, right, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you know, here's another thing that I absolutely love. You know, sometimes you get involved in an opportunity because you think it's the right one for you, and because other people are involved in that one, and you're like, hey, I just want to make money, and this person can show me how to make money. And then you realize, hey, I don't actually like the product, or hey, I don't actually really, this opportunity doesn't really fit me. I don't like the owners of the company, or whatever the case may be. Certain things come up, or you find another company, you say, hey, that one fits me better. Like I feel like this one over here might fit me better. I feel like this one might be a better fit for me. Oftentimes that happens, folks, and that's okay. Like that's entirely okay. And I remember a time I was at a Las Vegas event, and one of my old team members walked up to me. And she was completely liquored up, which is nothing wrong with that. I was completely liquored up too. But she kept telling me how sorry she was that she was finally achieving results. She'd found a company that fit her. She had found an opportunity that she was good at, that she was actually making money in, right? And she said, you know, I learned a ton from you. You helped me a lot. I want you to know that I applied the stuff that you taught me. And it's working here, I'm making money here. The opportunity I was in before, it just didn't fit me. But I feel bad because I never made you any money from all the stuff that you taught me. I said, you know what, don't worry about it. I'm just so happy to see you finally succeeding, right? I'm so happy to see that you found the opportunity that's right for you. That wasn't her first opportunity, clearly. That was like her second, third, fourth, fifth opportunity. But she finally found one that was right for her, right? And folks, that's really the way, that is one of the also cool things about the internet era, the internet part of this industry here is if you, you know, if you actually put in the effort, if you actually go out there and put in the due diligence and the work and the effort that it takes, I'm not talking about get started in something, pay the money, then sit there and do nothing and say, oh, that one. I'm saying if you honestly, wholeheartedly put in the effort and you say, you know what, I would feel much better about pitching that to people. I feel like I could sell that product. I feel like I could sell that service. I feel like I resonate with the message there a whole lot better. Well, then it's okay for you to go check something else out. It's okay for you to come over and do something else if you want to, you know? That's just my opinion, right? I have no fear against people leaving and coming back and whatever. I have no fear if people don't ever decide to come back. I have no fear of people leaving whatsoever. And that's really one of the beautiful things about what it is that Angela and I have put together here, folks, because if you are relying on bringing a person in and then saying, hey, I need to make my money off of that person over the course of the next 5 years in order to really make it beneficial, and you're looking at the long-term residual income, I'll tell you what, a lot of those people preaching long-term residual income out there, guess what they're making their money off of? They're making their money off selling tools and products and trainings and live seminars and all sorts of different things. If you really closely look at a business and you see someone making a ton of money, they're not making most of their money from selling the products and services that their company actually has them selling, right? They're making most of their money from selling other stuff. Now, there's certainly people that make a lot of money from selling the products and services of the company. I'm not disputing that in any way, shape, or form. But look at anybody that's really created a long-term residual income. It doesn't happen all that much, right? With what Angela and I have put together here, when you bring a customer in and you refer them to one of our 3 products, you know, one of the 3 product levels that we are going to be revealing tomorrow, you get to earn a larger commission depending on which level they buy in at. You get to earn a larger commission and feel good about it. You're not just selling them a bunch of hot air for no reason. You're selling them a product that they're going to want to continue to use for life, right? You're selling them a product that they are going to love, right? And so when you make all that money off of it, if that person decides, God forbid, hey, I want to go do a different company, or maybe I want to do 2 or 3 companies at once, or whatever the case may be, and they decide to put their energy somewhere else, the cool thing that you get to know is, hey, I gave them a quality product, I made a big commission, and I'm set. You know, I don't have to wait 5-10 years to earn my long-term residual commissions off of that person. I literally get to sell them a product, make a big commission. They're happy, I'm happy, we're all happy. If they decide to continue running here with us and they decide they too want to sell those products and make money with us, that's entirely up to them. But if they choose not to, if they choose they just want to buy the product and go off and run somewhere else, that's all cool too, right? And that's the beautiful thing about what we've put together here. You know, I read something about it years ago and I was like, you know, I believed it, and then I got into the long-term residual thing. And then what I realized is my long-term residual income after 2 years of really working hard on this thing, I was making about $800 a month. I said, man, I've been working for 2 years to be making $800 a month. Over there, I'm making $10,000 a month selling products that are actually giving me big commissions. What would you rather have?
Yeah.
Right? See, the residual here, folks, and let me just talk about this for a moment too. The residual here lies in the fact systematic processes in place, which we'll touch on tonight, wherein you can continue to bring new prospects over to the process. And those prospects, some of those prospects will buy the product month after month after month, and you will have a residual income, right? You will earn another income each and every single month. You'll have monthly income. It won't be residual because they won't be paying those high prices every single month, right? Like that's not where the residual comes in, but the residual comes in from the fact that you continue working the process. You continue sending prospects to the front end of these marketing processes, and they make decisions to buy the products. You make money month after month after month as long as you continue sending new prospects to the funnel.
I love it. No, it's so true. I just want to reiterate what Jordan said because it's so important. You know, so many people are trying to, go towards the residual income because they're like, oh, I want an income that I can walk away with. Well, what if you had a systematic process in place wherein you didn't have to do anything other than send traffic, and you didn't even necessarily have to know where the traffic came from? What if you could just literally push a button and the traffic would come? And you could keep pushing the button and order as much or as little traffic as you wanted every single day. And depending on the amount of traffic that you bought, the more traffic you buy, the more eyeballs see the sales presentation, the more eyeballs come through the 5 steps, 6 steps, because we're going to add a step here with the top tier here in a couple of days. Actually, tomorrow in less than 24 hours. What am I talking about? A couple of days.
Couple days.
I know, right? But in the end of that process, right, you're able to then make money off of sending people there on a daily basis. The residual income in this industry, it's in the ability to be able to send traffic to a process that converts on the front end and then leads into back end top tier commissions, top tier sales of products that people actually want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the other thing that it's been kind of frustrating over the years in this industry. In almost everything that I've ever been in my entire life, make money wise on the internet, online, or whatever, I've not been able to really say with full conviction, I would buy the product whether or not there was an income opportunity attached to it. And in my opinion,
I remember
now,
her actually telling me, I don't even know if these things are worth what we're selling them for.
Oh God, I used to say that all the time.
For the past 2 companies we've been in.
Yeah. It's the bottom line is this, the way that you can tell a solid company or a good company from a not solid company is, if you look at the product line and you say, am I only buying this because I can make money with the product? Or am I looking at the product line and saying, I would want to buy this whether or not there was an income opportunity attached to it, because I actually see value in the product. When you look at the companies out there that have become multi-million-dollar companies and billion-dollar companies, there's only a handful, there's only a few. The reason why they did that is because they actually had a sustainable product. They weren't selling air. They didn't just create a product for the purpose of creating a high-level commission, right? We could have done that. We could have launched this thing a couple months ago and given you guys a way to create or earn rather high-level commissions on, $10, $20, $30,000 products that were basically like a training video, right? We could have done that. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to create a product that, whether you guys are in the network marketing niche, multi-level marketing niche, internet marketing niche, affiliate marketing niche, whether or not you cared at all about earning money on the internet, that you would still want to buy this product. Like Jordan said, definitely we can't tell you that every person on the planet is going to want this product, although I can personally say I can't imagine somebody not wanting the product. But that's because it's like you like things that go with your personality, right? Like this is something that that really matches what we wanted to offer. So we hope that you like the product. We can't imagine that you're not going to like the product, but that's going to all be unveiled tomorrow. And like we said in the beginning, we're going to be going over some of the details tonight here in this hangout. But this launch is going to be an in-house launch. It's not going to be something that's broadcasted all over the internet to everybody out there. You're going to have to be a member of the Freedom Fighters Network to actually participate in this launch. The only way to actually get access to tomorrow's Hangout, you're going to have to log into your back office, and it's going to be on one of the pages. It's in your back office as you're logged in because you're a member of the Freedom Fighters Network. So if you're not a member yet, make sure that you actually click that button down below. Get started in our Freedom Fighters Network. You can get started for free if you've not ever seen this before, as long as that timer hasn't hit 0 yet. If the timer hit 0 already, you can get started for 47 bucks, just 47 bucks, and you'll be able to access tomorrow's Hangout, wherein we're going to show you, we're going to lay out for you. I mean, it's going to be, I'm just super excited. It's such a solid game plan. Like, there's not been, this is, when we launched the Freedom Fighters Network, we brought in 10,000 members inside of 3 weeks. We went from 188 members, that literally 188 members that didn't know us at all from Adam before we launched the Freedom Fighters Network. We went from that 188 people that had never heard of us before that decided to get started because they saw an attractive process, not because they already knew us or had any reason to like us or trust us. We went from that to 10,000 members, and what happened was it caused a paradigm shift in the industry. It's something that had never been done before. Nobody had ever created a company, launched it to cold traffic, and then brought in literally thousands of members inside of the first 3 weeks, starting from people that they didn't even know, right? It's never happened before. So the same thing, only much, much bigger, is about to happen tomorrow. The reason why I say it's going to be much, much bigger is because there's more money involved this time, right? The first time around, people saw a process wherein they could bring people into something for the first time ever. People brought people into the Freedom Fighters Network that had never sponsored a single person ever before in their life. Struggling marketers that had been trying to bring people in for years and years and years, some of which were on mine and Jordan's personal team, came into the Freedom Fighters Network. They brought in like 1 person in our last company and brought in like 92 inside of the first few days when we launched the Freedom Fighters Network. So it was a paradigm shift. This is another paradigm shift that's about to happen tomorrow. The reason I say that is because this isn't just about bringing people in this time. This is about earning big commissions. This is about a life-changing income. This is about you being able to literally quit your job in the next 2 to 3 months if you position yourself correctly, right?
And if you jump in and run with us.
Yeah, if you jump in and run with us, and if you position yourself correctly, right? You know, we talked about this a little bit last night. I'm going to touch on it here again for just a moment before I pass it over back to Jordan. But if you had an automated system, right, that was producing anywhere between $25 commissions and $3,298 commissions, and you didn't have to do anything extra to earn that $3,298. You literally did the same thing either way. All you had to do is push a button that's inside of step 4 in our back office and send traffic, right? You push the button, the traffic arrives. You don't even know how it gets there. You don't have to understand how it gets there. It doesn't really matter how it gets there, right? But you do that either way. And you could either tell the system to produce a $25 commission, or you could tell the system to produce a $3,298 commission. Well, what commission level would you tell the system to produce? This is the paradigm shift that we're going into tomorrow. That is what you're going to be able to do. You can choose whether you want to earn $25 or $3,298 by positioning yourself to actually earn those commissions. So I'm pumped. I'm super excited. I'm hogging the screen. I'm going to pass back over to Jordan, and let's get into some more exciting stuff and spill some beans for tomorrow's Hangout.
Cool, folks. So let's touch on what it is. You know, some of the things you have to look forward here to tomorrow with this pre-launch, right? And really to lay out the game plan of the pre-launch going into the blackout period, going into the launch, and what's really going to happen, how this stuff really happens. You know, we're talking to our programmer last night, and he said, you know, what are we looking at here? Like, in terms of the amount of volume that we're going to be doing, is it going to be going like just kind of straight up like this? Is it going to be going, you know, like this? Is it going to be going like this? Like, how is it going to flow? Like, people joining, and then which way is everything going to flow here? I said, well, let me share some things with you first and foremost. This is typically, folks, if you've been in the industry of internet marketing and product sales or product launches, info product launches, right, or other product launches that go on for about a 10-day period, here's typically what happens, right? Typically what happens is there's a 10-day window. There's usually some incentive for people to get in right away. You know, we're going to talk about some of those incentives on why you should take action with us tomorrow, or, you know, really anytime in that 7 days, but the sooner the better.
If you have a team, you need to take action tomorrow.
If you have a team, tomorrow immediately is the key. And we're going to talk about why in just a moment, but here's what typically happens. There's some incentive for people to get started on day one. There's all this hype and build up, and everyone's like just excited and ready and waiting to buy this thing. And so usually on day one, about between the first about day and a half, about 40% of the sales happen that are going to happen inside of that 10-day launch, right? And then over the next about 6 days, you know, so it goes like this. It starts up here and then it goes down like this. And over about the next 6 days, it's kind of even. And then on the last day, it goes up again like that, right? Because everyone is kind of like jumping off the fence saying, hey, I want to get this, really want to get the bonuses, really want to get the incentives, really want to get all this other stuff. I've just been kind of hesitant, and now I'm jumping off the fence, right? And the reason is because there's a 10-day window, and then it doesn't open up anymore. It's literally, the product literally goes for 10 days. And then actually a lot of times they end up reopening the cart. Oh my God, we had such popular demand, we're reopening the cart, right? You know, and they say, we didn't know that this was going to happen. Oh yeah, okay. Except they did, because it was part of the plan. They always reopen the cart, right? And so then there's more stuff and more stuff and more sales get made, and a little bit more sales get made from all these people that get off the fence. We're doing it entirely differently here. We're going to be doing it entirely differently here. What we're doing is lay out certain incentives that people will see during pre-launch to purchase the products and join the opportunity that they will never see again in life, that no one will ever see again. They will get benefits and perks that no one else will ever get. Why are we doing it that way? Well, because there's some of you that are here now, right? And I wholeheartedly believe this. You know, when Freedom Fighters Network first was launching, the day that it was launching, I told people, I said, those of you that take action with us on day one here, right? Like, you're different than the person who's going to take action in 2 days, right? Yeah. Why? How is that? Well, you see the opportunity, you believe in it, you're jumping for it, you're going for it, right? The person who sees it 2 days from now, they've seen all this results happen. They've seen all these people come in. They've seen all this stuff happen, right? Well, guess who they're joining? They're joining the person that joined 2 days ago, right? They're joining the people that got in on day one, went out there. And I'm not just saying, folks, if you get in on day one and do nothing, then all of a sudden people are just like, hey, you're in on day one, so I want to join you, right? Like, that doesn't happen. I had a person sitting next to me on a couch in a room that I got in. We both got in at the same exact time. Guess who made money and guess who didn't, right? I made a lot of money. They didn't make a lot of money. Why? Because I got in and took action. They got in and did nothing. Right? So folks, I'm not saying get in, do nothing, and this will happen. But if you get in and take a little bit of action and get any result whatsoever, the people that see it on day 2 and 3, they'll say, hey, you're out there promoting that you got a result with it. Can you show me how? Yeah, join my team. I'll show you how. Right? Boom. So much easier. Right? We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. So here's what's going to happen that's different. We've got all this momentum building up to tomorrow, right? We're about to do a 7-day window. It's actually 7 days and 9 hours. And we found out that we were wrong on the dates last night. It's actually going 7 days from tomorrow plus the 9 hours. So it's ending at midnight Eastern time next Sunday. Not next
November 16th, by the way.
Not next Saturday, right? There's that 7-day and 9 hour window that the cart will be open to purchase one of these 3 product models, right? And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. There's going to be that 7-day window. Day 1, tomorrow, boom, tons of people are ready to rock. Literally, I can't even tell you how many hundreds of people are ready to start buying this stuff here tomorrow. And what's going to happen is all these people are going to buy this. A lot of people are going to have their team members buying. A lot of people are going to be earning commissions, right? And so then on day 2, after all these success stories are created and all these people see, oh my God, look at all these hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions that were earned. Look at all these people buying this membership. Look at all these people joining this thing. Look at all these people buying from here. And look at all these people making money. People who've never made money online. People who are brand new to the industry. People who have struggled for years, or people that have made some money and literally just 10x their income like that, right? Look at what happens here. On day 2, when people see all this stuff out there all over Facebook, right? Folks, when you see that the dance party that's going to happen on Facebook, when you see this dance party that's going to happen on Facebook, if you think the money dance was cool, which it was, wait till you see the dance party that we're going to have going on here coming up from this. We can't talk about it today. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the members only hangout when we go into pre-launch, right? When that dance party happens, all of start shifting and looking at what it is that we're doing, right? And all of a sudden, all these people are going to say, oh my God, that thing worked. They weren't kidding. It actually worked. People are making money. I didn't believe it could happen. You see, because a lot of people, like Angela was saying before, people were like, hey, I'm coming into this thing because I want to earn $25 residual commissions and build up and have a walk away income, something that's going to keep coming in month after month after month after month. I'll tell you what happens. I walked away from a residual income that I had built up to about $3,000 a month at one point. It was at $3,000 a month at one point in residual income. I walked away from that income a couple years ago, right? Guess where it's at right about now? It's at about $50 a month, right? That was 3 years ago, right? I met a guy that was making $1 million a year in a big A company years ago, and he walked away from that, right? About 25 years ago, he's still making about $10,000 a month. But how is that different from $90,000 a month? His income dramatically dropped, right? He walked away, his income dramatically dropped, right? And the only reason it's still there is because he's actually still putting a little bit of energy into that company, right? He's still putting a little bit of energy in finding some people that want to come work with him and things of that nature. That's why it's still there. There is no such thing as building up a big residual income, then walking away and doing nothing, and then still making tons of money.
Unless you got started in like 1970.
Right.
You know, some of our mentors have a downline that's literally in the millions. We talk to these people rather often because we've got a lot to learn from them. But the reason why they're able to make so much money is because they got started way before the internet, and they built this huge team that's still duplicating offline because it got started before the internet, right? There was a major paradigm shift when the internet came into play, and the paradigm shift was that all of a sudden, everybody knew that they weren't in the only opportunity, yep. Right? All of a sudden, you know, your thing is just not special at all because there's 50 others just like it.
Right.
And when you hit that 43-day mark and you haven't made your first dollar on the internet yet or first dollar from home yet, here you are Googling how to make money from home, and here's 1,000 other deals showing you how to make money. That's why when we created the Freedom Fighters Network, we knew that in order to have A, any retention, and B, have people that are actually making money, we needed to have something wherein people could make money their first 30 days. They could make money without having to know too much, because you learn so much stuff. You have to go through hours and hours and tens of hours of training before you can make money. Well, most people don't have time to do that, right? Most people work a full-time job. When I got started in this industry, I was in another business, as in like I was an insurance broker. It still took me forever. It still took me forever. Even though I made my own hours, it still took me forever to make a consistent income because I still had something that I was working all the time, right? Most people don't have 1 million hours to put into something when they first start. And so if you can show people how to make money in their first week then what happens is this, you know, and you guys that are already in the Freedom Fighters Network know this because this is how it works. If you get started in something and you make money exactly the way that they tell you can make money, what happens? You develop trust, right? All of a sudden, it's like, holy crap, these people are actually telling me the truth. For the first time, I've been told I can make money, and I've been told it's so easy, and I've been doing everything that I'm told to do in the past, and I haven't ever made money, but in this, I got started. And no, I didn't make $1 million in my first 7 days, but I did make my first $25 commission. I did make my first 5 commissions. I made $125 in my first week online. I've never made money before. What happens is this: all of a sudden you trust us to teach you the higher level marketing skills that you do need, right? You do need higher level marketing skills. You can't just wander around the internet like an internet marketing zombie and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year knowing nothing. You actually do have to learn skills. But if you earn your money first, right? If we can teach you how to make money in your first 7 days, your first 30 days, then you can go on to learn more advanced skills because you trust the process. Remember, it all has to do with the process. It has to do, that's what gets you started. That's also what keeps you in, is the process. If you see an attractive process that you can see yourself doing, right? So the biggest question in people's minds when they're looking at any kind of income opportunity, right? The biggest question going on in their mind: can I do this?
Yep.
Can I do this? And if they can answer that question, or if the sales video rather can answer that question for them, they will make a decision to get started because they can see themselves doing it. That's why so many people get started in the Freedom Fighters Network, and that's why so many people are going to get started in our top tier, because our top tier is not going to preach to people, hey, yeah, you can make $25 sales without getting on the phone, without doing much, but in order to make these higher level commissions, guess what? You got to build a sales funnel. Guess what? You got to call people. Guess what? You have to hard close people. No, our sales funnel and our process is going to be something where people are sitting there in their head and they're saying, well, my sponsor didn't call me, and my sponsor didn't hard close me into this. You know, I actually was already looking for an income opportunity. I landed on this page somehow. I really don't know how I got here, right? Because nobody ever does. You know, you go in this like whirlpool of different, you know, things that you're out there searching for, and all of a sudden you land on something that interests you. And then you ended up in the 5 steps or the 6 steps. We're adding a step tomorrow. And all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, you know, I was actually out there looking for this. And I want to get started because I can see myself doing the same thing. I can see myself not having to call my friends and family. I can see myself not having to call people once I get them in the front end. I can see myself doing this exact thing that whoever sent me, which I don't even know who it is because I don't even know them, they sent me here. Doing this. Therefore, they'll decide to get started. That is what gets people started in things, and that's the biggest disconnect out there, and the reason that people don't get started in things, right?
Absolutely. You know, going a little further on that, and I'm going to jump back into some other things here in just a moment, but going a little further into that, people seeing themselves being able to do something and sell something and actually make money selling a product. Can I sell this product? Yeah, I love the product, right? Yeah. Like, I want to buy it anyway. That's not the question I have. The question is, will I be able to sell it to other people, or will want to buy it and I earn money? That's really the question people have. Well, I was involved in an opportunity years ago, much, you know, very similar process to what we have here, very similar, wherein I got started in the front end of this thing, and, you know, over a period of time, I was sold into a higher price thing, and I was sold into a higher price thing. And, you know, months and months and months and months later, because I didn't have simple systematic processes and resources and traffic resources and things I could plug into, I ended up getting my first sign up about 7 months in, right? About seven and a half months in or so, maybe even closer to 8 months in, I got my first sign up into this actual company, right? I had made sales of little products before that about a month earlier. After 6 months, I finally made my first commission online. But I made this sale into this front end, and then there was a pitch there wherein this person could buy a higher level product, you know, a product wherein it cost $2,000 and I got to earn $1,000 of that in my commission, right? And he said, Jordan, the product, he called me up, you know, he got in, he goes through a process of videos. I didn't put the videos together. He goes through these videos that someone else put together. These people that were making millions of dollars put these videos together. He goes through those videos and he comes to a point where they say, hey, you know, you've got this awesome system here. You're gonna market it. You're gonna market these lead capture pages. You're gonna spend, you know, on average, people are spending XYZ amount of money to get people to this page, to get XYZ amount of leads, to get XYZ amount of front end signups, right? Like, that's what's happening. People are spending this amount of money to do that. The next thing that happens is people come in and then they either stop there. They're either able to earn the commissions at this level, or they're either able to earn commissions at the higher level. And here's the kind of numbers that happen. Now, folks, we can't give you those numbers on our products yet because we haven't launched. We're not going to make numbers up. But what they did is they said XYZ amount of people will buy each one of these products. And here's the bottom line. If you're positioned at this level, your average customer value is this much. If you're positioned at this level, your average customer value is this much. If you're positioned at this level, and they didn't say your, but the company average, right? Meaning, you know, some people don't make that and some people make way more than that, right?
Right.
The company average number is this much if you're positioned at this level. And if you're positioned here, you're not breaking even based off of company average numbers, right? So the question is, if you're gonna spend money on the front end and you're gonna spend time and effort on the front end to get people to the front end of the sales funnel, no matter what, you're gonna do that. You're gonna spend XYZ amount of time, money, energy, effort, whatever, whether you're doing free marketing or paid marketing or whatever, you're gonna spend a certain amount of energy to get enough people to the front end, to get people into the front end of the process. The only question is, what will your average customer value be? What is it that you're gonna position? Where are you gonna position yourself at? That was kind of the pitch, aside from the fact that they said, hey, you get to save money if you buy it in this time period, and you get to earn more money if you buy it in this time period, and there's all these other little things, right? Very similar to what we're doing. You guys are going to learn about some of those bonuses here, incentives, all this other stuff. Opportunity to earn more money by taking faster action, right? Opportunity, you know, we're going to show you a way where you can literally instantly position yourself to earn an extra $6,000 off your first few sales. How would that be cool?
Yeah.
Right?
Who thinks that would be cool?
With no more work, right? Like, you're not going to change what you're doing other than the fact of where you position yourself, right? By getting started with us for life, you're going to have an opportunity to earn more money for life. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, right? By getting started with us during pre-launch. Why? Because we want to give the people that run with us now a little bit more incentive and a little bit more like, hey, thanks for running with us now. A little bit more of a thank you, a gratitude, and saying, hey, you decided to do it. People are going to look at this in a couple days or a week, or maybe even a little bit longer. They're going to look at this very shortly, and they're going to say, oh my God, it just makes sense for me to be there, right? But they're not the early adopters. The early adopters deserve a little bit more, and we know that, so we're going to do things like that. But anyways, this guy goes through this process that I had nothing to do with. I think I was watching Dexter, and drinking a 6-pack of beer, to be honest with you, at my girlfriend's house at the time. And I remember getting a phone call, and I was like, oh God, this is my new team member. I got to take this. And it's like 8 o'clock on a Saturday night or Sunday night or whatever. I think it was Sunday night because that's what night Dexter played. And I answer the phone, and he says, hey man, I'm just going through the thing. I got started with you yesterday, and I'm going through this process. And I went through all the videos. I got everything set up. And I'm looking, this product here, this product is $2,000. It looks like a pretty good product. I want to buy it. I want to buy it for myself. Especially because there's a discount. If I buy it now, I can get a discount on it. And the question I have though, Jordan, is, will other people want to buy it? Will I be able to sell it, right? And I said, well, you want to buy it, right? And he said, yeah. I said, well, what did I do to sell you? He said, nothing. I said, do you think you can do nothing, right? Now, folks, I'm not saying that's the only way to do it, because quite honestly, here's the thing. If you learn different skill sets and all this other stuff, obviously you can increase everything, right? Dramatically increase everything. There's going to be people that rely solely on the system that will be able to make money, right? Then there's going to be people that rely on the system, but they also start to develop their skill sets with all the different trainings we have in place that will be able to increase that stuff. The point being though, folks, here's the point, right? The point is this. The very next day, he went and spent $2,000. The very next day, I earned my first $1,000 commission ever. The very next day, and there's a train going by, so I apologize if you guys are hearing that. The very next day, my entire life changed forever in the fact that I finally said, you know what? I cannot go back to being okay with a $9 an hour job. I can't go back to being okay with earning less than $1,000 a month when I know now that I just earned $1,000 while I was drinking beer and watching a TV show with my girlfriend, right? I cannot go back to that, period. My entire life changed. You see, when people get a taste of something different, here's the difference between the people that succeed in our industry, the people that succeed in life in general, and the people that don't. You get a taste of something, right? There's some people that will say, you know what, that was awesome. I will go out there and I will work so hard to make sure that that happens, that it gets easier and easier and easier for me, or that I can continue to have that kind of lifestyle, or that I can, really start to have that lifestyle, or whatever the case may be. And then there's other people that say, you know what, if it doesn't happen for me, it's no big deal, right? And there's nothing wrong with either way. If you're content with not having an amazing, if you're content with not being able to travel all over the world and go to fancy dinners and drive nice cars and whatever, if you're content with having a job where you have a boss and you love what, some people just love what they do. Some people need structure in their life. I knew someone that retired years ago, and after about 3 months, they were like, I need to go back and get a job because I literally have no structure in my life and this is insane. Like I literally can't get by like this. And I said, oh, that's you. I don't know how that fits for you, but that's because it doesn't fit for me, right? Now, that's not for everyone. The point being, folks, is when someone gets a taste of something, and I got a taste of something back then, right? I got that taste, right? All of a sudden, everything changed. All of a sudden, my entire life shifted because I needed it again, right? I wanted it again. I said, I'm willing to now work. I can't give up on that dream now, right? I cannot give up on that dream now. I got to fight forward for it. Same thing happened years ago. I won a vacation. I won a 7-day cruise. Angela was actually on that cruise. We won a cruise down to the Caribbean. It was a couple hundred of us won this cruise out of like tens of thousands of people. And I remember walking off of that cruise, actually walking onto the cruise ship. This was the first cruise I had ever been on. This was like an amazing vacation for me. This was like my first real vacation, aside from the 1 or 2 that I went on over the past like 7 years, right? I didn't get to go on vacations much. I went on this vacation. I said, man, I need that in my life.
Yeah.
I have to be able to go on cruises again. I have to be able to travel the world and see the Caribbean and see the Bahamas and go island hopping and be out in the middle of the ocean seeing sunsets, beautiful, awesome sunsets with that flash of green that you see sometimes when you're out over the ocean that, you know, I've never experienced ever except for being out over the ocean. You know, I have to have this in my life again. And the fact of the matter is I am willing to go out there and do whatever it takes to make sure that that happens, right? Folks, we know that if we can give you a taste of that, right? If we can give you a taste of that success, right? If we can give you a taste of that success by helping you get your first sale, right? That $25 commission and then the $400 or the $1,497, whatever it is, or the $3,298 commission. We know that if we can give you a taste of that success, right? And help you get that first one, you will instantly, in my opinion, you should instantly want to then go on to develop the skill sets that it takes to not only continue getting those, but getting more of them, increasing and getting more of those, helping your team members to get those things, right? We can help your team members, right? We can help you. Our system can do a whole lot of things. When you get a taste, all of a sudden everything shifts. All of a sudden you wanted a whole lot more. All of a sudden you now have results to speak of. All of a sudden when you go out there and say, hey, look, I just followed this system and I just made XYZ amount of money selling these awesome products, people are going to look at that and say, hey, I want to join you because I want to join you because you made money and you can show me how, right? All of a sudden people are attracted to you. Now, one of the things here, folks, and tomorrow, Corey, can anyone direct me to where I can see the product and price for the launch?
It's tomorrow at 3 p.m.
At 3 p.m. Eastern time. It is going to be on a page inside of our members area only. We are launching this product, this company, to our members only. So you have to be a member of Freedom Fighters Network. You can do that right now. You can join right now by clicking the button down below. You'll get started with the person who invited you here, right? You can take the 7-day free trial, provided that you haven't run out of time already. If you've already clicked on that button, click on that button, take the 7-day free trial. We will be emailing out information to everyone to get them to the page at a specific time, and then you'll come to that page and you'll learn everything about the products. We're going to talk about the prices here a little bit tonight, right? We're going to talk about all that stuff. But man, you know, where was I even going with this? I don't even know. Oh yeah, the point being is this, folks, and this is something that's really huge. I just know hands down that this shifted a lot of things for me. Imagine this for a moment, right? Imagine this. Imagine that you plug in with us during pre-launch tomorrow, right? Imagine that you're so excited that you go out there and you share it with everyone, right? Imagine you've got team members that are getting excited because you're excited, right? Imagine that because all this energy is going on, your team members also decide to buy one of these higher priced products. Imagine you earn a big commission off of them buying one of those higher priced products because you're positioned to earn the big commissions on those higher priced products, right? Imagine all of this, right? Imagine you become one of our success stories wherein you've earned your first $398 or your first whatever, right? And imagine we say, hey, because you were in pre-launch and you got results, we want you to share your success with the world. We want you to shoot a 15 to 30 second video that we can actually take and put into our sales process, that we can take and put into both of our sales processes, right? Imagine that for a moment. It's not only going to go in the back end sales for the top tier, but it's also going to go in the front end sales process. Imagine that it might be on our sales page or order form page in our sales video, right? Imagine that we might add it to an email follow-up wherein your testimonial video is the email follow-up. Imagine you're getting to share your story with people, right? I want you to imagine that for a moment because here's what I know. Years ago, I had the opportunity to share my success with the world, right? With a company that I was marketing. Now, I didn't change anything in my marketing, right? I did the exact same thing. I was getting the exact same amount of people to come over to this website, right? I was getting the exact same amount of people to go through to the sales page, right? Here was the difference. Right below that sales video, there was a little thing, right, that said, hey, my name is Jordan Schultz and blah, 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 blah. I got XYZ results thanks to this company. Well, all of a sudden, my people that went there, they're like, hey, Jordan Schultz, that's the guy that I know him. Hey, he's getting results here. I want to work with him, right? My results doubled and tripled overnight in every single time that has ever happened. Every single company that I've ever been involved in that I've had to share my success as part of their testimonial, as part of their sales pitches, giving them and saying, hey, yes, they're telling the truth. I followed their system and I got XYZ results, right? Every single time I've been able to do that, my results have dramatically increased, right? Dramatically increased with no extra work involved. Well, those of you that are involved during pre-launch, guess what? Those of you that are involved and get results are going to be a part of our sales processes, right? We're going to take your story and we're going to market it to the world because we want to share your successes with the world. That's how this stuff works. If you've seen any commercials online, I don't care if it's like, the easiest dog grooming brush in the world, or, how to lose weight, or whatever, how to apply this makeup, how to get rid of your zits, whatever. You always see people on there that have used the product and have gotten the results that the product speaks of, saying, yes, I've used the product. Yes, I followed their formula. Yes, I got results, right? It's social proof. It's social proof that other people are using the product and getting results with it. When you're that social proof, and your prospects that you're sending there, whether it be from the cold traffic sources that get onto your email list and go back to the sales video again, whether it be Facebook friends, whether it be YouTube followers, I don't care who it is. When you're out there marketing and getting people over to your video, and they see you in the video and they see your success, right? All of a sudden, boom, they're like, holy cow, that's the person who invited me here. I'm going to get started with them, right? Your results will increase because of it, right? My results have always increased because of it. That's one of the many benefits of getting started right now, and we've got a couple more. That being said, I want to pass it to Angela here, and holy cow, we've been going for quite some time now. Why don't we start getting into some of the goods here?
Yeah. I don't know where to start. There's actually, I'm gonna actually go ahead and have you start, because we clicked off the outline here, and I really actually don't know where to start, because we've got quite a few different things that we actually want to talk about tonight. Some of the things we talked about here tonight we actually haven't brought up before, so put your listening ears on.
Grab a notepad,
pen and paper. Really, really important stuff. We want to make sure that you guys are prepared for tomorrow. Make sure that you guys actually mark your calendar for tomorrow if you haven't already. And, tell Suri to remind you as well. I have Suri. She reminds me about everything. Everything that goes on, we tell Suri, hey, remind me at X amount of time, or, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow to be on this hangout. Because like we said, we're broadcasting live tomorrow. It's for members only. And the only way to actually get in the hangout, number one, is to actually get started with the Freedom Fighters Network, which you can do right now by clicking on the button down below. And the only way that you can actually learn about the products is by getting on the hangout tomorrow. We're not going to talk about the product here tonight. We're going to talk about some of the compensation plan. We're going to talk about the price points so that you guys can get ready. It's going to be important that you guys actually call your bank if you haven't already. You want to call your bank and tell them that you're about to put a charge through tomorrow for X amount of money. We're going to talk about the amount of money tonight, because some banks won't allow you to purchase something for, $1,000 or before you actually call them. So when you put your charge through, it won't actually go through. This happened to me in multiple different things, that I've purchased in the past that have been, $2,000, $3,000. The bank blocks the charge until you give them a call and you say, hey, I actually mean to make this purchase. Then they'll actually allow it to go through. So if you haven't called your bank yet, make sure that you do that. The price points, I'll actually go ahead and go over those, and we're going to talk about a few other things. Jordan's brought the outline back up, so now I know what I'm talking about. The price points for tomorrow are as follows. We've got a $997 price point, which is the bottom level, right? We've got the middle level price point, which is $3,297, $3,297. And we've got the top price point, which is $6,597. Now, obviously, depending on the level that you choose to get in at, there's different benefits that have to do with the products that are available at each one of those three levels. With that being said, there's also a lot of different benefits to actually being qualified, as we call it, to earn commissions at the level that you're actually licensed to earn commissions at. So if you're licensed at, say, the middle level, and somebody buys in at the top level under you, right? You have a team member that sees the value in getting started at the top level, and you're at the middle level, you only earn the commission for the middle level. You don't earn the commission for the top level. So you'd earn a portion of the commission, but you wouldn't earn what you'd earn if you were actually positioned to earn it. This goes back to what I said in the beginning about, if you had a system that worked without fail to produce anywhere between $25 commissions and $3,298 commissions, what commission level would you tell it to produce? Well, that's exactly really how this works. Is if you're qualified to earn commissions, you're licensed to earn commissions at whatever specific product level you're licensed to earn them at, that's how you can earn commissions, right? So the commission levels, I'll go over those briefly. And then we're going to talk about something super, super exciting, because tomorrow is not just about saving money. You know, yes, you're going to save literally 33% off of the retail price that we're going to be offering later by getting started, being an early adopter, a fast action taker. That's not just what tomorrow is about. Tomorrow is also about your ability to be able to earn more money for life. It's not just about saving money, it's about earning more money for life. That's really, really what tomorrow is all about. We're going to talk about that here tonight. Before we get into that, I'm going to briefly cover the actual commission levels so you guys can see how much money that you're going to be able to earn starting tomorrow going into the pre-launch. And the commission levels basically are as follows. You're going to earn 40% on the bottom level. You're going to earn 45% on the middle level. And you're going to earn 50% on the top level. So 40, 45, and 50. And the second tier across all three levels is 10%. Second tier on all three levels is 10%. Now, what does that mean if you're brand new and you're like, what is a second tier? Am I crying? No, no, no. All right, second tier. Second tier. God, that was so cheesy. What do I say? Anyway, second tier is basically your team members producing. So you bring in Bob, and Bob goes and sells the second level product. You earn 10% of that product sale. You earn 10%.
If you're qualified
at
that
level. If you're not qualified at that level, then you earn 10% of the level that you are qualified at. Right? Does that make sense to everyone? It's super simple. Cool.
Awesome. Let me get back to here because we've already. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So you want to cover bonus pools?
Absolutely. Now, folks, here's a really simple thing. I need some talking room here. I like to talk with my hands sometimes, you know, folks. Like that's my dad does actually talk with his hands, you know, and sometimes I do that too. I feel like all of a sudden I need some talking room here. So here's a really cool thing that we have done a week ago, right? Angela and I are all about making sure that the full commission gets paid out to the field, right? Why? Because we know the more money we can put in your guys' pockets, the better, right? The more money we can put in your pockets, the better, right? That being said, we have a very specific thing that we want to follow. We want to be a two-tier affiliate program, right? We don't want to be a multi-level marketing company. And one of the things that we realized, and this is really just absolutely amazing, folks, is that if we were to allow people to earn commissions from, say, 10 levels down in their downline, if these 10 people weren't qualified to earn commissions and it passed up 10 levels, you'd instantly be a multi-level marketing company. Well, why don't we want to be that, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? I love MLM. I think it's great. The reason is this. There's companies out there that say, hey, you can't be in another MLM. If you're in another MLM, you cannot promote our company, or you can't, or if you're in our company, you can't promote another MLM. That being said, they're like, hey, if you're just promoting another affiliate program, promoting a two-tier affiliate program, that's fine. Like, you're totally allowed to do that. If you're promoting a two-tier direct sales affiliate program, you're allowed to do that. No matter if you're earning, you know, $50 commissions or $5,000 commissions, it doesn't matter. If you're an affiliate program, you can do that. So we said, okay, well, we want to maintain that. So we obviously can't pass commissions up from 10 levels down, right? But we also, me and Angela, don't want to keep that money, right? I mean, not that we're against keeping money, but we want you to have the money, right? We want the field to have the money. And we came up with just the coolest thing ever. Any money that is actually not qualified to be earned by the person selling the product, or, you know, in the second tier, if you're qualified to earn a 10% second tier commission, even if the person underneath you is not qualified, you'll earn that 10%, right? But whatever money is not qualified to be earned goes into a bonus pool. Really simply, if the money's not qualified to be earned, it goes into a bonus pool. And then we actually take that bonus pool and we divide it up evenly amongst the producers, right? And I don't mean like every other company out there that says, hey, we're dividing this up amongst the producers being, you know, the top 10 people in the company or the top 5 people in the company, where it's like, hey, everyone else busted their butt and made all these sales, and then literally the top 5 people got all this money. Well, that's not cool, right? Like, that's completely insane, right? I bust my butt and that person over there earns all the money that I sold products for, right? What we wanted to do was something different. And it's really simple. It's not complicated in any way, shape, or form. It's so simple. In fact, anyone can understand this. If you make a sale, depending on what level sale you make, you earn a different amount of points for each sale. Those are bonus points. at the end of said time period, if it's a week, if we do a bonus pool for a month, if we do it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 17 days, I don't know why we do it for 17 days, but maybe someday we'll decide to do something for 17 days. I honestly have no clue. We can switch it around, we can switch it up and whatnot. Let's just talk about the bonus pool that's in the pre-launch phase here. At the end of that pre-launch phase, all the money in that bonus pool gets divided up between all the people that made sales, right? If you made 1 sale and you earned 1 point, if you made 20 sales and you got 47 points because you got 2 or 3 points depending on the sale, you get 47 shares of the bonus pool. It's evenly divided up between all the people that actually go out there and produce. Now, here's the really cool thing this does, folks. First and foremost, just build a team and sit there and do nothing. It requires them to actually continue to produce results, right? It requires people to continue to produce results to get part of the bonus pool. Now, they could obviously make their, if they sat there and did nothing, they could obviously make their 10% second-tier commissions off their entire team if they built a massive team. We're not taking that away. That's still going to be there. But for the people that want to be a part of the bonus, for the people that want to get the recognition of winning the bonus pool each and every single week or month or however long we make it, right, then they have to go out there and produce a result personally, right? They don't get pass-up bonus points. They get bonus points from their own personal production. How cool is that, right? Now here's the really cool thing that we're doing, folks. We're going to have 2 different ways where you can essentially earn what we're calling multipliers for the bonus pool, meaning that if you earn 5 points in a week, a multiplier, and you got a double multiplier, you get 10 points that week, meaning you get 10 shares of the bonus pool, right? There's 2 different ways that you can get multipliers. The second way we're not going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about that tomorrow on the Hangout. Actually, the second way we'll talk about once you get in, right? We don't talk about that before you get in. This is something we talk about after you remember.
Yeah.
But the first way, and this is literally a very time-sensitive thing, the first way is anyone who gets started with us during pre-launch, and it doesn't matter if you come in the first tier, second tier, or third tier product level, started with us in any one of these 3 products during the pre-launch phase, that 7-day, 9-hour window, starting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, they get a double multiplier, right? They get a multiplier, so they get double shares for life. Now they could also, that person could go on and get the other one, so they could get triple multiplier, right, for life, multiplier just because they decided to take action in that 7-day, 9-hour pre-launch window, right? No one else will ever have the opportunity to get that because pre-launch is 7 days and 9 hours long. We wanted to give you a little bit more, like we said, folks, we know that there's people out there that are going to see this. And I'm not saying this to say that it's a tough decision to get started with us right now. It's a pretty simple decision, right? We've already proven ourselves. We've proven that we're staying. We've proven that we're helping people get results. We're proving that we're going to the moon, right? It's a very easy decision to want to get started with us and make bigger commissions with us. My point is that it's going to be a whole lot easier for people to make a decision 2 days from now, 4 days from now, 2 weeks from now. After people see hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions being paid out, they're going to say, oh my God, it's working and I want in on that, right? They're going to say, hey, I'm over here busting my butt for this long-term residual income and I'm making $50 a month right now, right? Or $100 a month. That person is literally brand new to the industry and they just made $3,300. That person's been struggling for years. And I've been a leader in this company forever and I'm making a few $1,000s. That person just made $10,000 and they've been struggling for years. They're not a leader. They weren't a leader at least. Now they are, right? It's going to be a whole lot easier for someone to look 2 weeks down the road and come get started with us because they're going to see all these results. So we wanted to give you guys something a little bit extra for making the smart decision to get started with us during pre-launch. Not only do you get to save 33%, which never will happen again.
Ever.
Never. That price will never happen again. Folks, we are practically in the pre-launch phase selling the first tier product. We are literally like this close to losing money, right? We are that close to losing money on that. We are like just scraped. Like the reason we did that is we really wanted to make it as low price as we could to help you guys get started with us, to help us launch the company, right? To help us do this, right? And so we wanted to incentivize you. And the coolest thing is, during pre-launch, when you get started, you get a double multiplier for the bonus pools for life. Now, that doesn't mean, here's what this doesn't mean, folks. It doesn't mean that you automatically get points in the bonus pool each and every single week or month or however. And we're going to be doing them consistently. Every penny that goes into the bonus pool will be paid out forever. It will never go to the company. It will always go out to the field, right? So every penny will always be paid out. And what it means is really simply this. If you go and produce 0 results that week for that bonus pool, you multiply that times 2 or times 3, and guess what 0 times 2 or 0 times 3 is? It's 0, right? It's the same as 0 times 1, right?
Yeah.
0 times anything equals 0. So if you don't get points, the multiplier doesn't matter. You actually have to go out there and produce a result. Then the multipliers kick in. But that being said, it is a it's there for life. We're not taking it away. It is there for life. You qualify for that by getting started with us during pre-launch. It goes along with you for life, folks. This is something no one else will have the opportunity. After that 7-day, 9-hour window is up, no one else will have the opportunity to get that multiplier. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment, right? I want you to think about this for a moment. I've been in bonus pools before where I've earned, anywhere between, $50 in a week in some bonus pools, and I've earned on average, I remember the one company, the average bonus pool payout was somewhere between $500 and $800, right? That was the average, right? That was the average for all the different weeks that this bonus pools existed there. Well, imagine taking it from $500 even to all of a sudden $1,000 a week, right? All of a sudden you're earning $4,000 a month instead of $2,000 a month. That's an extra $25,000 a year, right? Over the course
there
of
will be people sitting here that get there will be people sitting here that get that, and literally that earn double the amount of money and go from earning barely enough to quit their job to earning more than enough that they need to quit their job,
just from the bonus pool,
because they get started in pre-launch. Literally just because they position themselves in pre-launch. We're never going to offer this to you guys again. I had to jump in there because it's so important and crucial that you guys actually understand this. What we're just a discount on the products to actually get started. What we're offering tomorrow is a way where you can position yourself to literally earn more money for the rest of your life. More money, double the money every time you make every time you produce a result. You get 2 bonus points, you get 4 bonus points. You get 6 bonus points, you get 12 bonus points. All because you take action. That's it. That's all you have to do in order to actually get that for the rest of your life. How cool is
that? I think that's this thing, when we came up with this last Thursday, folks, we literally just lost it. I was so pumped for 5-6 hours. I was walking around. I'm like, I can't believe we just thought of that. I can't believe we just came up with that. Why? Here's what I know, folks. Making money is usually incentive enough for a lot of people, but here's the thing that happens when bonus pools come into play. 2 things happen. One is more money. Some people will work harder for the bonus money. They're like, oh my God, yeah, I was making thousands of dollars to begin with, but all of a sudden you told me I can earn a couple extra $1,000 by just taking more action. I'm going to go out there and take more action. And here's the other thing, the recognition, right? When someone sees their name ranked number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, anywhere on the list as being someone who earned money in the bonus pool, right? And when someone sees their name, when we post that on Facebook and say, congratulations to so-and-so for earning XYZ shares in the bonus pool this week or month or whatever, right? When we post that on Facebook, when we post it in the Facebook group, when we email it out to the members, when we recognize people that earn this stuff on our Hangouts or wherever, right? When we recognize that, I love recognition. I know Angela works harder for recognition. I know I would look at people ranking on certain things or being on leaderboards and companies and say, hey man, I got to go out there and get on that leaderboard too. I need to be in the top 200. I need to be in the top 100. I need to go out there and get recognition, right? People will work harder for recognition sometimes than money. So we take that both, and now we've incentivized everyone to work harder, right? Including your team members that you earn 10% commissions off of their work, right? Including your team members that when they produce, you earn money. When we incentivize everyone to work hard, a lot more money because of this, right? It's just so absolutely amazing. I am so excited about that thing alone. Now, folks, that's not even the half of it, because we have thought of so many other ways, and we can't get into them now, right? We've got a $1 million prize. The first person to get to $1 million. Actually, it's going to be everyone that gets to $1 million. But you guys aren't going to learn what it is until the first person gets to $1 million. And trust me when I say this, me and Angela thought of this the other day. We were on our way up to Vail, right? We went and stayed up in Vail. We had a meeting up there. And it was awesome. I love the mountains. I think the mountains are just absolutely beautiful. Now, we got a beautiful view of the mountains from here. But when you're in the middle of the mountains and it's like every way you look, all of a sudden it's just like boom, mountains up and then snow-capped peaks in every direction. It is insanely beautiful, right? And it was still beautiful, beautiful weather outside. So we were still walking around with in like warm weather flip-flops and whatnot.
Yeah, we were going sledding. We were like literally up there in like tank tops. It was crazy. We're gonna go skiing in a few weeks though after we launch.
Right. So when we thought of this idea, we said that, you know what? There's a lot of companies out there that give away certain things for $1 million earners. Like when you reach $1 million, you get certain things, right? There's a lot of companies out there that do different things, right? We said we need to be different, right? We need to do something entirely different that no company's ever done before. And it's got to be awesome, right? Like it's got to be absolutely amazing. It can't be something that someone grabs and like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm going to put it in a drawer, right? Or I'm going to wear it once in a while, or yeah, that's cool, but whatever. We wanted to do something that would literally, oh my God, I can't even, I want to tell you, but I can't, right? Trust me when I say that every single person that gets this $1 million prize, when they earn over $1 million in commissions in our company, every single person that gets this is going to absolutely, hands down, love this. I told one of our mentors, I told this person that we're working with about what it is, and he's literally the only person that knows. Mainly because we said, hey, we need your help getting this thing together.
Yeah. We don't know how to do this.
We came up with this awesome idea. Now we don't know how to put it together. But that's never the real quick lesson there, folks. Come up with an idea and then figure out how to implement it later. Like if you got an idea, it can be implemented. You don't have to know how, but you can figure it out, right? He was like, that is the coolest thing ever. He was so excited. We've got other ideas too, folks. We have so many other things coming that are just absolutely amazing. But here's the bottom line. The bottom line is this. Tomorrow's going to happen. We're going to have that 7-day window. We're going to have then what's called the 7-day blackout period. And then we're going to go into regular launch mode, right? Which is the 23rd.
Yeah.
The 23rd of November. That's my brother's birthday.
Nice. Which one?
Sweet, Brandon.
Oh,
awesome.
Nice. Sweet.
Cool, buddy. We're going to be celebrating your birthday by going into launch mode. So the really cool thing is this, folks. And I want to, I don't want to say that if you come in 2 months from now, or you were to get started during regular launch, or whatever the case may be, that you can't make money, because here's the bottom line: you will be able to. I've gotten involved in companies 2-3 years after they've launched, and I've still been able to make money in those companies, right? What I'm saying though is what's about to happen, the frenzy that's about to happen, the people that, I'm not saying just get in now and then all of a sudden magically your life will be completely different. What I'm saying is if you get in now and you really run with us and you really lock arms with Angela and I here, as well as all the other hundreds and thousands of people that are locking arms with us at the moment, and you make that decision to run with us and you do whatever it takes to get your results, ethically, legally, obviously, to get those results, to get those first results, to introduce people to the system, to introduce people to the funnel, to get team members in, to help them make a decision to buy one of these awesome products that we're going to be introducing tomorrow, right? When you decide to run with us right now and you get a result, let me share the 5 steps that it takes to go out there and get results. First and foremost, you get started with Freedom Fighters Network. Second off, you get things set up, right? There's a couple steps on how to do that. The third thing is after you go through marketing, that's also in the first 5 steps of our system, right? Once you do your marketing, you market until you get a result. Once you get a result, once you make a sale, once you get a team member, once you bring a member in, right? You market that result. You turn around and you share that result with the world, because when people see that you've gotten results with something, then they'll say, hey, it works. It works for you. I want it to work for me too. And if it worked for you, you can show me how to make it work for me, right? Well, here's the big thing about what's about to happen. People saw the results that happened from Freedom Fighters Network. People were bringing in team members. People were getting signups. People were making sales, right, that they had never made before. People earned commissions that had never made money before. People earned more commissions that had never earned as many commissions before. When someone goes and makes a $400 commission or a $1,500 commission or a $3,300 commission in the next day or two, in the next few days, right? When that happens and you turn around and you get to market that result, all of a sudden people are attracted to you even more, right? There's all this frenzy that's going to start happening around the internet. What's going on here? And the people that really take action, the people that go out there and get quick results, are going to be the ones out there saying, hey, look at the quick results. I got, oh my God, this thing's amazing. And you're going to be attracting way more people to you. Folks, again, I'm not saying that if you don't get a result tomorrow that you can never make money with us, because you can, because I've done it in multiple different companies. I've watched people, but the thing I know is a lot of people were attracted to the people that were getting the results in the beginning. A lot of people were attracted to someone who already had big results. when you can go out there and get a result tomorrow, the next day, whatever, we're going to be attracting people in. They're looking for people to get started with. They're looking for people that they want to work with. And that person can be you if you decide to run with us and get a result fast enough, right? So the sooner you get a result, the quicker you get a result, the bigger the result is, the more people you're going to attract to you. Think about this. If I were to go out there and say, hey, I can show you how to make $1, you know, you'd be attracting people that had never made $1 online. They'd be like, hey, I want to know how to make $1 online. That's pretty cool. But then if you're out there saying, hey, I can show you how to make $100, there'd be like people like, hey, I made like $10 online once, but never again. Yeah, I'd love to learn how you made $100 yesterday. That'd be cool, right? They're going to get attracted to you. If on the other hand, you're saying, hey, I just made $3,298 in one sale, and I can show you how I did it, right? Oh my God, who are you going to attract to you? Well, a lot of people that have never made a $3,298 commission. How many people is that on the internet? Most of them. Yeah. Most of them, right? The bigger your result, the more people you can attract, the more people you can speak to, right? I want to pass it back over to Angela because we are definitely running on hours and hours.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and share a quick story before we close it out here in a few minutes, because like Jordan said, we actually we're coming up on the second hour here. We want to make sure we keep these things as short as possible, with also packing them in with all the information that you guys need to know, so that you can actually you know, have all the information. That being said, you know, going back a few years ago when I first started having success online, really what happened in order for me to break through, because I was top earner, not a top earner, I was a top producer, right? In the company, probably a top earner too, to be honest. But I was a top producer in the company that I was in previous to the last company that I was in. I was always on the leaderboards. I was making 2 to 5 sales a day. But if you were to actually look at my bottom line, if you were to actually look at my bank statements, it would have shown that every single month for literally 8 months straight, I was losing about $1,000 a month. I was spending $3,000 a month and making about $2,000 back. Therefore, if you do some quick math, you can see that I was losing $1,000 a month. And what happened is this company came out, is in pre-launch, right? I knew the owners of the company. I'd met them before. I didn't know them, but I had met them before. And you know, I decided to get in. I decided to participate in the pre-launch and position myself at the highest level at the time, which was a level wherein I could earn up to $500 commissions. I went from being in a company wherein I could basically only really strive for the $15 per month commissions. That's how much I would earn per customer, to all of a sudden, right, I could make up to $500 for every customer I brought in. Well, I'll tell you what happened over the course of the next few weeks, and then over the course of the next few years, right? For the course of the first few weeks, I went from losing money to earning about $9,347. Not about, but exactly $9,347 within 6 weeks of this company pre-happened. Number one, I could earn big commissions, right? I'd never had an opportunity wherein I could earn big commissions without having to do loads and loads and loads of selling myself, which I didn't want to do and I didn't have time to do. So it just didn't get done. And I was basically striving for small residual $15 per month commissions. So I was able to earn a lot of money, $9,347 inside of my first 6 weeks. Then what happened? You know, company had problems, you know, I walked away. Friends of mine that were literally in the same position as me, top producers in the previous company, were probably losing money in their marketing. You know, nobody really tells you that. I'm telling you that now, but I wasn't, you know, broadcasting that from the rooftops then, believe me, right? So I don't know what they were making then. I just know that they were next to me on the leaderboards. I walk away from the company because they were having problems, you know, problems processing, things of that nature. I walk away. Friends of mine that were literally making the exact same amount of money as me, right next to me on the leaderboards in the previous company, did pretty much the same amount of pre-launch as I did, went on to make $1 million over the course of that next year. I walked away. I was off selling insurance. They went on to make $1 million by literally having the same skill sets that I had, the exact same skill sets that I had. I was like number 8 on the leaderboard. They were number 9. I was number 7. They were number 4. I mean, literally, like, people that had my same skill sets went on to make $1 million. Meanwhile, I still had a job selling insurance. I decided to come back to the company. At this point, it's watered down, right? Nothing is converting. Literally, people are pouring into the company still from various different funnels out there, but the company funnels are not converting. What do I decide to do? Well, I decided to broadcast of how I made $9,347 in my funnels convert like crazy. I'm getting like 70% opt-in rates. If you don't know what a 70% opt-in rate is, just trust me when I say it's freaking awesome. It's like the best ever. Yeah. Right? I was able to come into a company that was watered down, right? Completely watered down. People were having trouble making signups. I was able to pretty much come in and within a few months go from zero to $10,000 a month in that company. Why? Because I had a story, right? Everybody here has the opportunity to go out and create a story. A story is what will set you apart in your marketing. A story is what sets you apart from the next guy that has the exact same marketing funnel. And it's the reason why somebody will want to join you versus joining somebody else. See, people want to join somebody that's going somewhere, right? The reason why people don't join people in this business, have you ever gotten a phone call where your aunt, your uncle, your brother, sister, they're trying to sponsor you into something, and the first question you have is, well, how much money have you made? Right? But then you're on the internet and you're on somebody's marketing list, and this person is like, hey, I just made $3,298 yesterday while I was at the beach. Click this link, learn how to do it, right? What do you want to do? You want to click the link. You want to join that person. Why? Because they've just proven they got a result, right? It's so easy to get results and things in the beginning. Now, like we've been saying all along, this is a little bit different, and I've talked about this in other Hangouts before, and I'm going to mention it here again in case you're new or this is the first time you've been on a Hangout with Jordan and I. Jordan and I had never had aspirations to be company owners, ever. I have never came through this industry like, oh, once I figure things out, then I'll be a company owner. No, it's never, ever, ever my plan. We basically fell into this position of being company owners.
We love it though, by the way.
Yeah, we do love it.
Love it.
Yeah, I absolutely love being company owner. I wouldn't actually change anything about being that now. That being said, it was never something that I was like, it was never a goal of mine. My goal was always to be a marketer. My goal was always to be the best marketer out there. And so our funnels, they convert now. They're going to always convert. We've got plans in place to make sure that they always convert. We're always testing them. We're always making sure that when you guys put money into traffic, when you guys, go out there and get your own traffic and send traffic to our funnels, that they convert. Why? Because we're marketers first, right? We're marketers first. That was always our number one goal and always our number one aspiration was to be the top marketers. And so we make sure that things work today as well as they'll work later on. That being said, I can tell you this from experience in literally, so many different handfuls of companies. I can't even count them all now. It is the easiest to make money in the beginning. It always is. Even if the funnels convert later, even if you have something I had a funnel that I created that converted really well. If I would have used that same funnel in the beginning, I probably would have gotten 10 signups a day. Instead, I was getting 2 to 5 signups a day. Why? Because we watered down at that time, right? It always works better in the beginning. It always does. That's just the bottom line. And so if you want to have an easier time versus a harder time making money in this thing, you might want to get in the beginning. Get in tomorrow. Get in when we literally unveil this thing tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that will be the easiest time to get in. Why is that? Because when you post a link out there on Facebook, right? When I was losing money in the previous company and this paradigm shift happened in this new company, everybody was flocking to the company. Well, who do they join? The people that are already in the company, right? They join the people that are already in the company. So for me, it was literally as simple as sending out swipe copy to my list that the company owner wrote for me and posting stuff on Facebook, and people were clicking and joining. People were clicking and signing to get started. And my thing before it converted, I was getting a lot of sales. I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was getting a lot of sales, but I had never seen something convert like this. What was the difference? Well, 1, it was a paradigm shift. 2, it was something that had never been done before. 3, it was something that just literally everybody was flocking to. And somebody, you have to join something, all right? You have to join somebody that's in the company. And so the somebody that somebody's looking for, it may as well be you. And it can be you as long as you get started and get started tomorrow. Get started in the pre-launch. There's so many different reasons that we can, go on and on about and harp on here to get started. The bonus pools, you get double bonus points per like. You save 33%. That's never going to happen again. You're in on something in the beginning when nobody knows about it. Nobody even knows what this product is, guys. And we get literally messages upon messages upon messages into our email box, into our Facebook messages, everywhere. People are like, how do I pay for this product? I want to get in first. You can't get in yet. You have to wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at that time, when we unveil this, This launch, I can promise you this, is going to be different than any other launch that you've seen. The reason why, I can't remember if you actually finished this thought. I remember you started on this thought. I think we may have actually gone in a different direction after that. You know, most launches, they'll start off and there'll be like a whole bunch of sales and they'll just kind of like taper off like this. With this is what's going to happen. People will join tomorrow. A lot of people will join tomorrow. But then what's going to happen is when you guys go out there and you post your results on Facebook, the whole industry is going to be looking, not just the industry, but people that have never made money before. Your friends and family are going to be like, holy crap, you just made $3,298. Where's your link? I want to join it, right? It'll be a completely different situation than you ever had with your friends and family, right? And I'm not saying you need to sell this thing to your friends and family. Like, I would never actually actively call my friends and family and tell them to join something. I just wouldn't do that. But what I'm saying is they're going to come to you when they actually see you making money. So the way that the launch will work is that even though a lot of people are going to join tomorrow, more and more and more and more and more people are going to join over the course of the next 7 days and 9 hours from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. The reason is because they're going to see people making money. They're going to see people making cold hard cash, which is why people get into this industry. They get into this industry not to sponsor a bunch of people into stuff, right? But to actually make a lot of money. You can be a sponsoring magnet and go and sponsor hundreds and thousands of people into something. And if you're making teeny tiny commissions, it's still going to take forever for those to add up. But when you can actually go and say, hey, you know, I sponsored one person and that one person made me $3,298, right? And maybe it only costs you like $100 to acquire that customer. All of a sudden, you want to spend $100 as much as you can to acquire as many customers as you possibly can because you know that you're making money each time. This is how you can reinvest back into your marketing, right? It's by knowing your average customer value.
Hey, I got something really important to tell people to prepare for tomorrow as well, folks. While we have these products, these 3 different level products, right? An issue that we always ran into with other high-level products that we sold was people didn't have all the money on one credit card or one debit card, right? And so certain people are like, well, I can't buy it. Well, I honestly have not, like, I don't know exactly how it's going to work, right? But I know that when you go to, I know that when you go to purchase, that you can put an amount on one card and add an amount on a second card and charge that, and add an amount on a third card and charge that, until you get to the full amount of the product level that you're actually purchasing, right? So if you have multiple credit cards or multiple debit cards or whatever the case may be, sometimes, you know, like even months ago when we bought some computers, right? We couldn't buy them. Like, we had to literally call the bank, and like the limit was like $5,000 a day.
We actually had to go into the bank.
We actually had to physically walk into the bank and say, hey, I want to spend more than $5,000 in a day. You know, what the heck?
We changed banks since then.
Yeah.
A little bit of a hassle, but.
So you can literally go, and for whatever reason, you can spend it on multiple different cards and get stuff in. And we also have a way where you can wire money directly to us, you know, which is going to take a little bit longer, but there's instructions on how to do that there as well. So whether it be wiring the money or putting it on multiple credit cards or multiple credit cards, I believe, and a wire, don't quote me on that. I'll have to check, and we'll know tomorrow when we're actually live on the thing. I'll check with our programmer to see exactly how that's working there. But you will be able to pay in multiple different amounts and multiple different payments to get one big lump payment. Cool. So I don't know if you had other stuff you want to talk about there?
No, I mean, I'm pretty much done here unless you have something else you want to add. We've got a few more things we actually have to do behind the scenes to actually get ready to unleash this thing to you guys tomorrow. It's like, you know, so many different times you guys ever felt like, you know, oh, I'm ready. And then, like, you know, right before you're about to go, like, do something, you realize, oh my gosh, there's still like 5 things we need to do. That's kind of what we've been feeling like all day today. We actually set our alarm for well, actually the second time this week. So we had to set our alarm to go to Vail the other day as well. But we're not used to alarm clocks. That's why you're looking at me here. I'm like tired because we actually set our alarm this morning. So we realized there's some last minute things that we just need to get done here so that it's ready for you guys for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a really exciting day. So make sure that you guys join us here live tomorrow, and make sure you get into Freedom Fighters Network before then, because, you know, the email we sent out today, it says it's your last chance to get into the Freedom Fighters Network before we go live. It is. Like literally, guys, if you don't get into the Freedom Fighters Network before tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time, you will not be able to participate in that hangout. You will not be able to ever access that hangout until you're a member. All right, you'll be able to watch the replay later, but you can't ever access it until you're a member. So if you want to actually be the first to hear it, knowing that you're never ever going to be able to access it unless you're a member, the smart decision to make would be to actually become a member now, right? It's not going to be like we're going to non-members later on. No, you'll only ever get to see this hangout if you're a member. So go ahead and become a member now. Click the button down below, get started, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Woohoo!
All right.